Let's talk about Mass Effect for a moment. Is this a good game? I think so. Is it a great game? Nah. Does it deserve the hate that it's been getting? A little bit. Oh, let's talk about why. It definitely feels rushed. I feel like this game could have spent another year in the cooker, and the end result would have been a much better product. Let's talk about some of the things I don't like first. The dialogue. Some of the lines are cringy.
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
What the fuck? Did they hire kids to write this shit? What does that even mean? It makes no fucking sense. My face is tired? The fuck? Other lines are in keeping with what we've come to expect from a Mass Effect title. Kind of cringy, but, it's kind of expected in a Mass Effect game. The lip syncing... Oh, God. Now, lip sync was never amazing in the Mass Effect games. It is, however, 2017, and other titles have proven that lip sync is possible, at least in a more believable manner than what we're presented with in Andromeda. So yeah, the lip sync is kinda shit, but they've also proven that lip syncing was not a strong point in their previous games. So should we complain about the lip sync quality? Yes. Should we have expected better? Probably. But this is a Mass Effect game, and Mass Effect was never noted as groundbreaking lip sync. Other games managed to get it right. They didn't cost $60, so I don't think it probably should have cost $60. The facial characteristics. I think there's a gap in the graphics when it comes to the faces in Andromeda. Some of the characters look amazing, their skin textures are stunning, and others look like cardboard cutouts. I'm not really sure how this managed to pass QA, except that maybe there was no QA. I mean, other games managed to get this right, and they didn't cost $60, so maybe it shouldn't have cost $60? The dialogue pacing. The pauses and the blank stares and mid-dialogue, that shit can be jarring. We've seen many games for many years resolve this kind of issue. Why Mass Effect can't pull it off, I don't know. The dialogue often seems obviously recorded in one-line segments and then pasted together. Imagine if I recorded all of my videos in this way. My viewers would get fucking tired of this shit and go back to My Little Pony or whatever. Other games managed to get this right, and they didn't cost $60. So maybe Mass Effect shouldn't cost $60? The timeline. So, okay. Apparently, all of this game takes place before the events of Mass Effect 3, and potentially 2 and 1, I don't really know. This kind of means everything you did in the previous games means nothing. It's kind of been a mainstay in the Mass Effect games that whatever you did in a previous title is supposed to carry over into the next game. Here, the chronology is kind of fucked. From your perspective, in this game, no Shepard ever cured the genophage. No relays were ever used as a means to stop a galactic scourge. None of that matters. It feels very much like a game. This is not necessarily a bad thing for some people, but when I personally am playing a story-driven game, I like to be pulled into the game. I like to feel like I'm part of that world for the time that I'm playing. It doesn't happen with Andromeda. Many aspects of the game feel, well, gamey. Enemies are bullet sponges, sometimes taking 2 magazines to kill with bullets alone. Shielded enemies can take even more. The scanning mechanic is, thus far, neither novel nor exciting. It mostly just acts as a means for developers to implement yet another form of currency. Crafting is better than the previous Mass Effect games, but it's not really innovative either. There are many little nitpicky things here and there throughout the first few hours of the game which I feel are kinda awkward. Ultimately, with Andromeda, they wipe the slate clean. Mass Effect 3 doesn't matter. They're presented with the opportunity to give us so much innovation, as they're not hindered by sticking to the established Mass Effect norms. Yet the props, the characters, the aliens are all obviously designed by the same team as the first 3 games, who apparently long ago made a pact that stated all creatures must follow the same general layout. Our new enemy, the Ket, our old friends, who apparently we brought along for the ride. In fact, while I'm on this topic, if you look at the bipeds in all of the Mass Effect games, humans are the least exciting. We are the most boring species in the universe, what with our boring faces, smallish size, and deformed legs. Ultimately, in terms of mechanics, story, and characters, they've squandered their chance to innovate, to break free from the confines of the standard Mass Effect title. They should have taken this chance to make the Andromeda Galaxy a bit more alien than the standard Mass Effect copy-paste that we're accustomed to. On the flip side of the coin, the game does have its sweet spots. The cutscenes and the environments can look fucking amazing. The textures have a marked improvement over the previous games, though that's kind of to be expected. And while I've yet to encounter a companion character that's managed to interest me, the overall story has. I do find myself interested in seeing what's exactly going on. There is a story here, and I do want to know more. And that's a key point when it comes to a story-driven game. I love the new ship design that we're given. I love the fact that we're no longer locked into a specific character class. I love that there is a much larger arsenal of gun skills and abilities for us to use. And I generally enjoy the game. I mean, I don't think it meets my expectations, and I definitely feel like the development team missed some fairly significant opportunities. I would have liked to have seen a continuation from the previous titles. I think that would have been a bit more natural feeling. I'm also glad to be free of the Commander Shepard persona. I like that it feels a little bit more like Dragon Age Inquisition in space. So will I refund the game? No, I don't think so. I want to see where this story takes me. But am I at least a little bit pissed? Yeah. This is a $60 game in terms of graphics and nothing else. I expected more, and I think we deserved more. I do think I'll keep the game, and I'll probably play it all the way through. I don't think I'll be making videos on it or streaming it. It's too poorly optimized to stream, with my setup anyways, which is by no means a bad setup. But I will keep it, and I will play it, and I'll likely enjoy it. Some may say that's all that ultimately matters. Maybe they're right. But what I've played so far is just bordering on playability. It took a full day to decide if I was going to refund it or not, and that's never a good sign. Ultimately, I won't go telling my friends, go get Andromeda. At least not for $60. It's a decent game. It's not amazing. It's not even good, but it is decent. And the story has intrigued me enough to keep suffering through the terrible dialogue pacing and animations. Only time will tell if the story lives up to my expectations. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Not super excited about Andromeda. I expected more. Anyhow, peace, fuckers.